Hi guys, Nick here with BitGalaxis, and today I have another Asset Forge video for you. And in this video, I have given myself a challenge, and that challenge is to create anything within a 1 by 1 by 1 cube. And I chose today to go ahead and try and make a helicopter within that 1 by 1 by 1 cube. And you can see I've set up this small scene to kind of get me in the mood to do it. And I have this 1 by 1 by 1 cube available to make sure that I am keeping my entire helicopter within it. And one thing that I'm not going to really necessarily count is if something like has a surface that's like right on the surface of the cube, I'll consider that as a count. If it's sticking out where you noticeably could see it from one side, yeah, we're gonna have to squeeze it in. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get started and see how far we get into this. So I thought immediately the best way to start this is to get the propeller on within the cube, because this is going to be the piece that we're going to base everything around mostly. And this is going to be the top propeller, and we'll kind of go up one, drag this in, and the one thing that we might do just to help us out a bit is to scale this down, because I don't think it's going to fit perfectly. Yeah, we might have to. That might be too small. I don't necessarily like it like that, so we'll leave it like that. And if we move this cube, we'll probably find that this actually does meet the requirements. The surfaces are overlapping a bit, but otherwise they are within the cube. So we'll move on from there. So now that we've got a propeller, let's focus on the body. You could do probably a ton of things with the body here. I've got aircraft parts. But you could add anything you want. So we're obviously going to be scaling stuff down as we work. I have not planned this out, so I may end up going back and forth a bit in terms of how I build this. This may not be a good piece at all, because I am kind of scaling this a lot. And let's go back like that. And there's maybe the start of it. The one thing that's going to be concerning is I think I need to get a primitive in here for the body, because I don't know what else is going to fit. I need to get like a windshield or something. So I'm going to go do that. I think a sphere might work okay. We'll go ahead and try this. Spheres are obviously 1 by 1 by 1 when they start out, so we're going to scale this down a bit and maybe make this elongated. But then we struggle here. Ooh, I might have to actually change some of this, because obviously my propeller needs to maybe go forward a bit to make it look reasonable. So I'm going to squeeze this in a bit. I'm going to move this over and squeeze this down. Squeeze it down this way to make it symmetrical. And I hope that I'm not outside my box here. We'll drag that back in, and we're not, right on the edge. And we'll drag this a bit forward, and then we'll bring this back. And I think we're doing okay. So that's really going to be hitting the tail end of it. Now, in the aircraft, there are a lot of tail ends we could use. We might just make it like this, and we'll scale this down as needed. And this is going to be crazy. You know what? Let's make this a lot narrower, because that's really pretty large compared to the rest of it. We'll go down to 0.4, and you can see this is definitely breaking a rule here. So I've got to figure out how to squeeze that in some more. And I'll put it right beside it, just so I can see how much do I got to go. Is that going to work? Maybe if I do this, that might be okay. And maybe I need to scale this back out a little bit, and then just scale this forward, bring this down, call that. And if I could maybe, is it close? Ooh, it's so close. So there we go. I think that'll be okay. So that is the helicopter. And you know, I think that maybe I'm not entirely satisfied with the shape of it. I might scale this down a bit. There we go. That works a little bit better. And what I'll do next is somehow figure out how to get a windshield on this thing. It does not look good without it, but I'm first going to apply these little things because I just kind of noticed them out there in the corner and they look almost perfect for that. And we'll squeeze that in, squeeze this in a lot, squeeze this down, and there we go. Maybe move that back a little bit more, and there we go. Looks good so far. I think I'll leave it right there, and hopefully I am not, I think that's actually the bottom. Yeah, so that's the bottom. That's still within our cube. Did I delete my cube? I deleted my cube. Let's bring that back. It's got to be the challenge. Stay within the cube. And there we go. We're still within our cube. We probably ought to put in a another propeller for that side. And let me get to the aircraft. And I'll do this. This will be really, really small. And we'll bring it up. And ooh, you know, one thing that I did not think about was having this be, let's do this, wrong way. That's about the best I could do, really. And I'll move that just a tad. That will be one exception that I cannot really work around. I may have to make one exception. Unsatisfactory. It's you know, I think there's, given the constraints, we would be able to fit this exactly as we want. So I'm going to say if I had enough tweaking ability, I'd be able to do it, but I don't. So I'll leave it at that and say that that's, ooh, actually no, we need to, oh, that's because I rotated it. Let's do this. Yeah, it's kind of odd that Asset Forge has this weird thing that it does. And I think that might actually work. That might get us back, ooh, ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. So if I could maybe move this. See, still not good enough. You know what? Maybe I don't even need it. I'll go down to 3. Oh, whoops. There we go. 3. And then we'll go back. And there we go. Push that up a little bit. And there we go. I'd say we're good in that. Let's go ahead and add another sphere. And we'll just add a half sphere because we're not really going to be needing all of it. I'm going to rotate this. If I can figure out how to rotate the right direction. And we'll push this over. Oh, how could I forget? Let me delete this. Get it to the scale you want before you start rotating, because Asset Forge does kind of do some weird things once you start moving them and rotating them in different directions. So I'm going to rotate this about here, give it that, and then we'll say rotate it around. Translation always works just fine. And we'll go like this. Ooh, I did not give it the exact. Oh, yet again. So one more try. We will shrink it to 0.6. Shrink this even more, and then shrink it down quite a bit, and then we'll do Control O and do like that. I think that should work. And if not, we'll Control O back just a little bit. I don't know how I want to do this. I might want to get a different one. Let's paint it first, just to kind of see what it looks like. Yeah, I want to scale it just a little bit, just a hair. And it will not work. Pop. Yep. I'm not quite getting what I want. That's a little more difficult than I expected it to be. And let's just leave it like that. No, no. Let's just use the sphere. Use a whole sphere. I was going to try and be efficient, but it wasn't working in my favor. So I'm going to drag the sphere, scale it around, and that'll make it a lot easier. So now I've got this little bulbous sphere here sticking out. And we'll move it around and get that kind of scaled out the right way. I don't think we're going to do much better than this. And that's about as good as it will get, really. One other thing we might try instead is to pop that out. Oh, there we go. Now is that sticking out? Yes. So we got to pop that back in, pop that back in. And is that going to be within our cube? It is. And there we have it. I would say we could call that good. Maybe scale this down a bit more. Just like that. I think I kind of liked it a little bit wider. Hard to say. Now we've got the overall shape of it and the design in place. I think that actually is pretty good. You could add more details if you wanted to, but I'd say for the purpose of this video, we actually got everything in there and it looks, you know, fairly decent. Maybe some modifications here, tweaking here and there, but that would be it. I think we've kind of met our challenge and got a nice little helicopter here. So from there we could save our file and, you know, maybe paint it a little bit differently, give it a little more, you know, a little more oomph or pop there, kind of make it look a little bit nicer. But for the challenge, we have met it. So that is it for today, guys. I thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.